The gleaming spires of Z pierced the amber sky. Crystalline daggers welcoming Earth's diplomat, Alexander Reed. He descended into a civilization that had walled itself away from the galaxy, his heart pounding with the anxiety of a first encounter. He met Minister Zarek, his human form dwarfed by the towering iridescent aliens. The city was a marvel of spiraling opalescent towers, yet beneath the beauty, the air was sharp with unreadable tension. In diplomacy, the true dangers are never the ones you train for. Days of strained meetings blurred together. Then the summons. Alexander stood before Queen Liara, an alien vision of crystalline beauty and cold fury. Before he could offer greetings, her voice cracked like a whip. "Silence! Guards, seize him!" He was restrained, confusion warring with terror. "What is the meaning of this?" Liara's rage was a physical force. "You dare ask? You have committed the gravest crime. You have planted your vile human seed within me." Alexander gaped. Impossible. But as he denied it, a memory surfaced, hazy and poisoned. The welcoming banquet, too much alien wine, a darkened corridor. He saw the recognition in his own eyes reflected in hers. "I see you remember." He pleaded for unity, suggesting the child could be a bridge. "Fool!" she spat. "A half-breed is an abomination. By our most ancient laws, I am unfit to rule. I must abdicate." He was dragged away. His execution is at dawn. In the advanced, shimmering prison, despair set in. This incident wouldn't just kill him. It would ignite an interstellar war. But a shadow emerged, Mira, the Queen's handmaiden. "What is happening is wrong," she whispered, deactivating the force field. She revealed a conspiracy. Conservative nobles were using the pregnancy to depose the progressive Queen. Mira led him to a hidden resistance, where he found Dr. Elena Chen, his own delegation's biologist, and Kina, the Zine royal physician. Nkena confirmed the impossible. The pregnancy was real, the first ever successful Zine hybridization. Elena delivered the darker news. "We've intercepted communications. Elements on both sides, human and Zine, are pushing for war. They see this as the perfect excuse. It's a familiar story, isn't it? Fear paralyzing progress, the old guard preferring destruction over change." Keener offered a desperate lifeline. The fetus showed anomalies, advanced neural activity, potential telepathic traits. He suggested linking it to the ancient Zine prophecy of a star child who would bring great change. Armed with this, Alexander secured a secret audience with Liara. He laid out the evidence, not of his innocence, but of the child's miracle. "It's not an abomination," he urged. "It is the fulfillment of your own prophecy." He spoke of the child's potential, of the medical data, of the future. Liara, her hand on her abdomen, was shaken. "Even if true," she trembled, "my people will never accept it." "They will," Alexander insisted, "if you lead them." He saw his own complicated hope reflected in her eyes. The Queen, intrigued but wary, relented. "Show me the proof. But if this is deception, your species will pay." What followed were agonizing weeks of delicate diplomacy. Kana and Elena presented their irrefutable data, while Alexander and Mira carefully sowed the seeds of the miracle child prophecy among the populace, working to calm the escalating military tensions on both sides. In the crucible of the crisis, Alexander and Liara found a tentative, growing respect. Then the world fractured. Liara went into labor just as Mira burst in with dire news. "There are riots in the city. The conservative factions are moving, and an Earth fleet just entered orbit, demanding answers." Time was up. As the cry of a newborn echoed, Kenner emerged. "Ambassador, meet your daughter." Alexander entered. Liara, exhausted but radiant, held the child, a perfect, seamless blend of both species. But before they could speak, the riots intensified. Liara rose, cradling the infant. "What I need, Doctor," she said, her voice steel, "is to save my kingdom." Together they walked onto the palace balcony, facing the angry Zine crowd below and the armed Earth ships above. Liara raised the child. "People of Z, honored guests from Earth, you see an abomination. I see a miracle, a bridge." As if on cue, the infant began to glow, a soft violet aura. A profound wave of shared understanding, of peace, hope, and connection, washed over the crowd, the palace, and the ships in orbit. Zeril, the Dawnbringer, as they would name her, had used her innate telepathic abilities to link them all. The riot stopped. The Earth Admiral, stunned, stood down the fleet. That night, the trajectory of two species changed, years passed. The union of Earth and Zia, guided by Alexander, Liara, and the wisdom of their daughter Zeril, became a beacon of interstellar cooperation. They were invited to join the Galactic Council, and it was Zeril who spoke, her voice and empathy uniting the diverse assembly. Decades later, Alexander, Liara, and an adult Zeril stood as leaders within that council. A new crisis emerged. A massive, artificial object, impossibly complex, drifted from intergalactic space. It was the Collective, a networked consciousness of an ascended civilization. Zeril made contact. The Collective, ancient and lonely, offered the council races a choice: ascension. To leave their physical forms and join the Collective's unified consciousness. The galaxy debated. To gain infinite knowledge but lose the self. It was Alexander, Liara, and Zeril, the family built on bridging the impossible, who proposed the compromise. Not ascension, not yet, but an exchange. A group of volunteers to join the Collective, to learn and to return, sharing that knowledge. A bridge between the physical and the infinite. As the first volunteer ship departed, Alexander stood with his wife and daughter. The diplomatic mission that began in Terra had birthed a new age, proving that the greatest leaps forward often begin with a single impossible child.